Well, it's officially spring, which means we'll start seeing a variety of migratory birds making their way back home for our warmer months. Our own Kyle Keel is spending the afternoon at Wild Birds Unlimited, joins us now live. Kyle, bird watchers, they can make the most of the season by picking up supplies right there.
Yeah, they certainly can, Morgan, and now is a great time to get the right tools to attract those migratory birds into our backyards, because I tell you what, there are so many different species that come to the Quad Cities region, and you want to have the right feeders, the right bird bath, etc. So here is the expert, Lisa Tang. She joins us now here at Wild Birds Unlimited. And Lisa, you have decades of experience in wildlife, and you're the expert here to tell us what kind of tools we need to attract these birds into our backyard.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. It's really the same thing that we need as human beings and other wildlife. We need food, we need shelter, we need water, and we need a place to raise our young. So food can be whether you're providing a bird feeder that you have in your yard or hanging off of your house, with the appropriate foods for the species that you want to bring in, and different foods for different times of year. For example, now that birds are migrating and starting to nest, they're looking for foods that are high in protein. In the wintertime, when they're trying to conserve their body heat, they need foods high in fat. So providing those types of resources is really invaluable to the birds. The second thing that you need is your varieties of foods, which can be a bagged seed like we have here. It can be natural foods, such as berry-producing plants, nut-producing plants, acorns in your oak trees, walnut trees, hazelnut bushes. There's a really wide variety of species out there that our birds depend on as they're migrating through to eat.
Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but you're talking about the bird feeder. You have several different varieties of bird feeders in Wild Birds Unlimited in your store. Does it matter what type of bird feeder you get?
Some birds prefer certain types of bird feeders. So the one that I picked out here is one of my favorites. It attracts a really wide variety of birds. It's called a tube feeder. It's very easy to fill and take care of and keep clean. We also have our what we call hopper feeders here that you fill by lifting the lid. Birds will perch down here and eat. We have tray feeders. Some birds prefer to have nothing over them when they're eating. So tray feeders are a great way to satisfy them. And you can also hang trays underneath your hopper feeder so that the birds, when they scatter the seed, it'll fall into the tray, and then that tray not only keeps your grounds clean, it also gives the birds another place to eat. And then there's hummingbird feeders, bluebird feeders, oriole feeders, woodpecker feeders, so something available for just about any species of bird.
All the species, and coming up in the next half hour, we're going to talk to Isaac. He's another one of the people who works here. He's the manager. He'll talk more about the feeders, but also we want to attract birds with bird baths as well.
Yeah, the last two elements that you want to be able to provide for birds is a reliable source of clean water. And that can be something as ornate as a granite bird bath, or a dish that you set on the ground or in a little tray. The important thing for that is that you keep it clean, keep some diseases from spreading via your bird feeder, and the birds want to be able to drink fresh, clean water. So that is another important thing to provide. And sometimes it's not your seed that's attracting your birds to your yard. Sometimes it's the water element. So another important thing to do. And lastly, if you want to have birds raise families in the yard, a place for them to nest just kind of seals the deal for the birds. And nesting places can be bushes, they can be trees, they can be tall grasses. You can put up a nest house for a specific species of bird. And it doesn't always mean that you're going to get that species, but it gives that species a place where they can safely raise their young, and that's a big attraction. One thing to remember about birds is for millions of years they have been instinctually programmed to look for these four elements. So it doesn't really matter if you have everything exactly right. Of course, we'd love you to.
Yeah.
But if you don't, they're programmed to look for food, shelter, places to raise their babies, and water. So if you put it out there, they're going to find you.
Okay, Lisa, you are a wealth of knowledge, and you are here to offer that knowledge to the Quad Cities at Wild Birds Unlimited, located on Eastern Avenue, just off Kimberly Road in Davenport. You can also call them, visit their website, wbu.com/Davenport, as well as find them on Facebook. And we'll be back in the next half hour to talk more about some high-tech bird feeders that'll get you viewing those birds and even learn a thing or two. So for now, in Davenport for Quad Cities Live, I'm Kyle Keel. We'll send it back to you, Morgan.
All right, looking forward to that, Kyle. Thank you.